Hello and welcome to SIBO Volatility 411 for Friday. My name is Dan Deming and I'm with KKM Financial. Well, we're looking at SPX moving higher. Possibility of a third record closing high today, where we're seeing the SPX moving higher off the unemployment report to some of the narratives within the market. VIX at the low end of the range. VIX cash 12.5 right now. Definitely at the low end of the range for not only this cycle, but you have to go back to end of July to see the VIX at these levels. Looking at the end of the year vol crush, I think is kind of playing into the mindsets here and the psychology within the market. All these major averages pushing at or near all-time highs, and we're seeing realized volatility coming in as well. So again, you have a seasonal effect here that typically takes place into November and December, and I think you're seeing it play out in the markets right now with the realized volatility trend lower as well. Looking at the roll market, I want to point out front month future 1475, so it's quite a bit of premium in there still. Second month future, that D's future is 16 quarter, so $1.50 in that roll market continues to widen. Third week in a row, we're seeing that stretch out, and that's definitely impacting the ETPs when you look at the VXX on the lows of the cycle. Looking at VVIX, measure implied volatility in the VIX options, 85. Now, one interesting thing to point out here is that we're not seeing it as low as it was last week. We did see it actually lower last week. The range this week has been a little higher, so possibly we're seeing some bottoming here as far as the implied vol levels on the VIX options. And speaking of those VIX options, the 14.5 puts, 13.5 puts in November is where the action is today on the put side. Call side, we're looking at the 20s, the 24s, and the 30s on November. And also want to point out December puts, the December 15 puts, there's some decent activity there. And remember, with that December future at 16 quarter, those are out of the money puts in the December cycle. Next week, earnings will continue to play into the vol structure. Data coming out, we have a lot. Fed speak, back into the market now that we passed the Fed meeting, and trade talks. Those will all be featured next week in the vol structure.